Hey guys, what's going on? Back again with another video. Now, I know it's been a while since I actually made a video, but I want to talk about something that's been really popular in the last few weeks, and that is, as you can see on the screen, it's going to be about the KN44 blueprint or hypercube blueprint that was on the Giant as a scrap paper Easter egg in Black Ops 3 Zombies, and that's probably been about 9 years now. I know there is also a talk about an impossible Easter egg. Some people say it's solved, some people say it's not solved. But I do want to talk about all of that real quickly. And then also, if anybody has any thoughts or questions, let me know because I'm not trying to like steal a quote from Jason Blundell, but I do sometimes pop in and out of the zombies community and then also what the zombie YouTubers are talking about. I kind of watch a couple videos here and there. I think back in maybe 2018, 19 or so, I did a couple solves myself for the impossible Easter egg. And then I kind of left it at that. I know at this point, I know it's a huge cash grab for zombie YouTubers where they put the impossible Easter egg tag on anything. If literally there's like a dirt on the floor or a piece of paper on the floor, they put it as an impossible Easter egg. You know, because it generates cash. I think most people in the zombies community knows that, and it's kind of we kind of make fun of it, poke fun of some of the annoyances that the zombie YouTubers have. But the KN44 blueprint. There was really recently also a interview done with one of the zombie YouTubers where they interviewed the ex-Treyarch devs that made some of the artwork for Black Ops 3 Zombies. And I did see the interview. I did want to talk about, like I said, if you guys saw it and you have questions or thoughts or interest, I guess the main thing is I want to see what people are interested in as far as this whole like impossible Easter egg. And are you annoyed of it at this point? Are you still interested? Do you think there's something still out there? Or do you understand that it's just really just a cash grab for zombie YouTubers? Something that they've always done. Because there are answers out there for the impossible Easter egg. And I do understand that zombie YouTubers, they're not going to put the answers out there because as soon as you put the answer out there, it ends all other videos. It kind of puts an end to any monetary gains that they can have in the future if everybody knows the impossible Easter egg is solved or debunked, whatever thought that you have on it. So that's something like I do want to recently talk about, or also talk about, I guess recently that's come up. Now, in the interview with the Treyarch devs, like I personally know what the blueprint is, what the KN44 stands for. I myself don't really want to reveal it because I go by what the Treyarch devs put out there. Like, are they if they were dropping hints, that means they really want people to solve it. They really want it to be known and solved. But I did watch the interview, and some of it they kind of, I mean, I know they even mentioned it. They kind of even put some red herring, some kind of, I'm gonna call it like in a fun way, like some BS, like some fun little BS to kind of misdirect the zombie community and the zombie YouTubers. And then I did catch a couple hints. So that's how I kind of figure out what to let people know. And if you are ever interested in figuring out what any of this stuff means, I drop hints on Twitter all the time because, like I said, I did solve a couple things back then. It got confirmed by Treyarch, and then life kind of went on after that. Like I'm not, my life or income isn't really dependent on generating revenue from YouTube videos and clicks and views and all that stuff. I know everybody's dream nowadays is to have 1 million followers on all platforms and TikTok and stuff like that, which is not mine. And I understand those content creators, that's their life goal. I knew new content creators because I saw a video recently. There were a lot of BS going on about the KN44 blueprint. Some of it I laugh at. Sometimes I watch a video and like 3 minutes into the video, not even 3 minutes, probably 30 seconds. I meant 30 seconds into the video, you can tell the video is gonna be all nonsense and BS. And I saw one, and of course that's the thing. When one YouTube video is really popular, you'll see how the other YouTubers kind of piggyback on it. or kind of leech off of it might be the better word. How they kind of recopy that video and kind of generate the millions in views that maybe the original one had. And that's something I got to give credit to people for, is the fact that they come with some creative BS when it comes to some of these Easter eggs. Because the truth is, everything, if you're trying to solve the KN44 blueprint Easter egg, everything is solvable to the easiest level. The problem is we overthink stuff, and even Jason Blundell said it, is like, maybe we overcomplicate things. Because if I was to help somebody solve the KN44 blueprint, all you have to do is look at the blueprint, look at the KN44. What does the KN44 look like? What does the ball, summoning key, I guess ball I was going to call it, summoning key looks like? What does the hypercube look like? And there are some other solves in there and stuff that I've mentioned. And if you want to call it Tesseract, and there's a lot of Marvel Easter eggs, because that's something that people know. Treyarch devs have always been fans of Marvel comics. So with the Tesseract and some of the Captain America stuff, it's all in there. People know it. They used to call the Civil Protector Iron Man. That's kind of obvious. That's supposed to signify Iron Man. And I know the Spider's Web perk, Widow's Wine, that's supposed to be like Spider-Man, like I said, Spider-Man perk. So there's a little Marvel Easter eggs in there, and the Tesseract is from the Captain Marvel, the first Avenger, and stuff like that. So some of the stuff is easy. Some of the stuff is a little bit difficult. Some of it we overcomplicate it. It's like taking the SATs and what they say with the SATs. Some of it is easy. You overthink it or whatever. Maybe even an IQ test. Sometimes you overthink stuff too much, and it's a lot easier than it should be. So again, back to the blueprint. It's the most simple thing in the world. If you know what it is, just look at the KN44. What does that look like? Then once you know what that looks like, or what it's supposed to represent, you're going to solve everything else a lot easier. I'm not going to go too much into it because I want this to be like a first video. I want to see what people are interested in. If people are actually really interested in knowing what the blueprint is supposed to represent, what it means in the story, and in Black Ops 3 and stuff like that. Once you have that solved, it is, I'm not going to lie it is the most amazing Easter egg solve, most clever Easter egg solve Treyarch probably put. And that's why it's the impossible Easter egg. It's kind of the, it's kind of like the cream of the crop, I guess, as far as like Easter eggs. And it has a big payoff. Once you yourself or the zombies community or the zombie YouTubers finally eventually solve what the KN44 impossible Easter egg blueprint is, it is the most amazing Easter egg, and it's hidden for a reason. And it's kind of the same thing with the AFGX cipher or AFDGX cipher on Mob of the Dead. The payoff was actually pretty cool when it got solved, and that's why it was so hard to solve. And that's the thing about life. The hardest work has the most satisfying payoff at the end. You build your own house, wood by wood, nail by nail. It's going to be the most satisfying feeling in the world. Once the zombie community or the zombie YouTubers solve the KN44 Easter egg, blueprint Easter egg, it is the most amazing thing. It's going to open the world to you. You're going to understand the zombie story so much better. And that's something I've always said. Think of all the Easter eggs that we've solved so far up until this point, even going from Cold War, or I guess, or Vanguard zombies or Modern Warfare 3 zombies. Start from there, go backwards. That everything that's solved is still only like 10% of everything that's out there or possible to be solved. And that's something that you're going to realize when you look at the blueprint, you look at some of the loading screens, what they mean, you look at some of the stuff in the games. And it sounds crazy, but I'm going to put it around the 10%, 15%. The zombies community and the zombie YouTubers really haven't solved much. I myself have solved a little bit more than that, and that's like I said. I myself used to think I was the best and I solved everything. Ha ha ha, I'm the greatest. But then I started realizing the more and more you solved, and I know Treyarch have talked about this, you still only solve like probably like 50% of it. So you think about the zombies community, zombie YouTubers solving only like maybe 10%. Some of the best zombie YouTubers, if there's anybody else out there that can solve Easter eggs, you're probably at 25%, 30%, maybe 50%. Because a lot of the stuff that people said too, like, hey, this is an Easter egg, it's a dead end, it's debunked, more than likely it isn't. And some of the stuff like the devs that talked about in the interview, some of it they're still kind of hiding, they're keeping it to themselves. I'm not going to speculate onto why they do that, but I do see, listening to them talk, even going back and listening to Jason Blundell. I guess Jason Blundell, was notorious for that, as he gave away some of the most clues. Because once we solve stuff and you go back and watch the interviews, he did give a lot of hints. And that's something that I was not really too keen about back then, because I knew what the solves were. And when I saw the interviews, I'm like, oh, he's giving away answers and stuff like that. Now, I used to give away answers. I just kind of not do that too much anymore. I kind of talk to the devs about it and I ask them about it. And that was the other thing too, that I wanted to kind of talk about, is there is, like I said, a lot of BS going on with videos and stuff like that. When people say that they have an exclusive interview with the devs, I can't show it, I can only show it in DMs. 100% that's nonsense, because you go on Twitter right now, you ask any of the devs any question, if you're a fan, and if you're sincere, they'll answer it for you. Because I've asked them a lot of questions, and I kind of listen to their answer, and I guess one of those things, is kind of like, you can kind of hear their answer. If they answer or how they answer, that means, hey, back off, it's something I don't want people to know about. If they kind of answer it more openly, then of course, they're more likely to kind of want you to ask more questions and want that to be out there, want that to be solved. And I think the thing with Lee Ross, I'm going to use that as an example. At first, you asked Lee Ross about his story being inside of the Ether story. He was like, no way, that's not fake. And then years went by, maybe he realized that that door has closed, he's not going back to Treyarch or Activision or Call of Duty. He gave away more answers. Like, yeah, he was just kind of, not really joking, but kind of like didn't want that out there back then. Because that's the thing with people, they want to finish their story. And I feel sad about that sometimes too, is a lot of the Jason Blundell's, Lee Ross's, Jimmy Zielinski, and then even I can feel so terrible forgetting his name, Sledgehammer Games, World War II Zombies. I feel sad sometimes because I know they want to finish their story, and I know they're not like at a place right now where they can finish that story. Maybe they don't want to give answers away because they want to eventually down that road maybe finish their story. And I kind of feel sad for them. That's why sometimes I ask questions about it and I listen to how they answer it. And if they're really standoffish, then I'm like, no, they don't want the answers out there. Because something that's cut and dry, that's definitely an Easter egg, definitely pertains to that. And then if they like, no, it's not, that's a definitely debunk, then that might mean to them or to me or to anyone that, hey, back off on that question. Because Jason Blundell has done that too in interviews. Like, back off on that question. Maybe that's coming down the road if they're still there and stuff like that. But that's just some stuff I wanted to kind of talk about. And I'm rolling into the maybe 15-minute mark pretty soon. But again, I know I've rambled on. It is very interesting. But I did watch the interview with the ex-devs, and kind of just to sum it up again really quickly is, there were some hints in there. Because once you have it solved, and it is solved, that you can kind of see what the clues are and what the clues aren't. And what kind of, I wouldn't say nonsense, sounds like a bad word, but like, I guess misdirection. Yeah, I don't want to say nonsense, but misdirection. It's kind of like when somebody asks you for directions and you kind of give them the runaround as a prank or a joke. You know, you kind, or like somebody's new to your job and they're asking like, hey, where the cafeteria is, and you want to prank them or something. You kind of give them the run around, or the, you know, misdirection, or whatever the case is. So I did watch the interview. It was pretty cool. And I'm trying to think what else from the interview I can kind of maybe mention about that I thought was interesting. Um, and like I said, maybe they don't feel comfortable giving the answers away, because that's the main thing. And I'm going to end it at that. Not only do the devs want to eventually finish their story, who knows, maybe if they do a podcast, or maybe if they do a book, maybe do a screenplay, maybe whatever. Maybe eventually at one point they want to finish their story. And then at the same time, maybe they still have connections at Treyarch and Call of Duty, or Activision, or another studio, and they want to finish their story, and they can tell their friend that still works there, hey, this is the idea I had back then. You know, maybe give them credit and stuff like that, or because that's kind of what's going on with Fortnite right now. And I don't want to kind of go off tangent, but like in Fortnite right now, the main creative director left. There was some couple other stories going on, so they're thinking like, hey, we're gonna try and finish his story. I know he's not there anymore, but we might still have a connection to him, and we want to kind of finish their story, or finish his story. Because the thing with Call of Duty, not Call of Duty, but the thing with Fortnite, and I don't know if Call of Duty would ever do that, is Fortnite ended half of chapters. So I think it's the coolest thing if they go that route, is, hey, let's finish off that chapter, even though it ended with like 4 seasons, because a full season was supposed to be like 8. So I think with a lot of time travel, and with Fortnite OG, and Jason Blundell said this, maybe people aren't even interested in this stuff or topic about how video games are made. But hey, remember Fortnite Chapter 2? No, they went to 10 seasons. Hey, remember like Fortnite Chapter 3, Season 4, it ended. We only had 4 seasons. What if it really didn't have 4 seasons? What if it had like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? So let's go back and finish off that chapter. Now that's enough time has passed. So I think that's something pretty cool, that, like I said, maybe why some of these answers aren't out there, or why maybe Jason Blundell hasn't surfaced. Maybe he wants to eventually go back to Call of Duty, or Activision, or Treyarch, and finish off his story. But anyways, I'll see you guys later. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks.